length of a rectangle is 4 more than its width. Length is 4 more than its width. Find a function which represents the area in terms of its width. Well, we know that area is equal to length times width. So if we substitute length in here, we can write area as a function of w is w plus 4 times w, or w squared plus 4w that way. Find the foci. Well, since it's x squared minus y squared, you know this is going to be a hyperbola, so we need to complete the square. Let's group the x's together first. X squared minus 12x, leave a space, minus 4y squared minus 8y, leave a space, equals negative 16. Now the x grouping is okay as is, but with the y grouping we want to factor out that negative 4 and be careful to change the sign in the middle to a positive 2y. Then we can begin the cut in half square process. So the negative 12 is going to cut in half to a negative 6, which in turn is going to square to a positive 36. And since we've added 36 to the left, we want to add 36 to the right side of the equation also. With the y grouping, the 2 is going to cut in half to a 1, square to a 1, and that 1 is really a negative 4 because of the negative 4 out front, so we're going to subtract 4 on the right hand side also. Completing the square, we've got x minus 6 quantity squared minus 4 times y plus 1 quantity squared equals 16. So that'll be our equation we're going to start with now. Let's set this equal to 1, so we're going to divide through by 16 on each side of the equation, and that will give us x minus 6 quantity squared over 16 minus y plus 1 quantity squared over 4 after the 4 and the 16 cancel equal 1. Now, since x squared is listed first, this parabola is going to open left and this hyperbola is going to open left and right. It's going to be centered at positive 6, negative 1. The foci can be found by using the equation c squared equals a squared plus b squared. We know that we're going to add our two denominators together because there's a minus in the middle of the hyperbola, and we do the opposite. So c squared is going to equal 16 plus 4, which is 20. And that means that c will be the square root of 20, which will be plus and minus 2 root 5. C is the distance from center to focus, and since this is opening left and right, we're going to be affecting the 6, which controls left and right. So our foci will be located at 6 plus and minus 2 root 5 at a height of negative 1. Okay, sketch the graph of this polynomial function. We can see that the x-intercepts are located at negative 3, positive 4, and positive 1, but because of the even multiplicities, we now know that they will be bounce intercepts, so to speak, at the negative 3 and 1, and a cut variety at the 4. Now, if we add the exponents together, 2 plus 1 plus 4, the overall degree is a degree of 7. And that tells us it's going to start in the bottom left, do its wiggling in the center, and then go up to the right, and the ends are going to point in opposite directions. So let's start with a number line here to help us with our sketch. Well, not a number line, I guess that's an XY axis the way I've drawn it. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. We're going to have x-intercepts at negative 3, at positive 4, and positive 1. We know it's going to be coming up from the bottom left, but it's going to bounce at negative 3. What's going to happen in the middle here? I don't know. At 1, it's going to come up and bounce again, and then it's going to go up and continue going up as it crosses through over here at 3. So it's not a full graph, but it's a sketch of what's going to be happening and where the graph is going to be positive and negative.